Welcome back everyone to the channel for another video. This is Q50 Beast. Today we'll be taking a look at the 2020 Lexus RC-F Track Edition. I mean, look at this thing. This is a mean looking machine. Those quad exhausts look nasty back there. The lines, the cuts, the wheels, the red accent on the seats. I mean, this thing looks very, very quick and sexy, and I just can't wait to show you exactly what we did to make it fast. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, going over to the conversions, the engines, there are a bunch of engine choices here. The 3 liter, the 4.8, the V12 Racing, the V12, but we went with the stock engine. I mean, that thing sounds powerful and we did it. All right, so we kept it rear wheel drive and we made this thing twin turbo. All right, so going over to the engine, we went with the race intake, a race fuel system, a race ignition. We also went with the race exhaust. We went with race camshafts. We went with race valves. We also went with the race engine block displacement. We upgraded those turbos to race. We also went with the race intercooler, and we actually experimented with the oil cooling. So we wanted to squeeze out as much power as possible. So we went with the oil cooling this time. All right, and we went with the race flywheel. Moving along, we went with race springs, race front anti-roll bars, race rear anti-roll bars. We did nothing with the chassis reinforcement, and we did a full weight reduction on this car, make it as light as possible. For the clutch, we went with the race clutch. We also went with the race transmission, a race drive line, and we went with the race differential. Moving over to the tires, we went with the drag tire compound for this drag build. We did nothing with the front wheel, and we extended the rear wheel all the way wide to 315s. All right, so for the wheels, we chose the lightest ones that we liked, and we like these right here, the lightest ones possible. And for the front wheel, we went with 20s in the front and 21s in the rear to help us with the top speed. So for the front track width, we extended it all the way wide, the same as the rear, to help us with our handling. All right, so for the aero in the front, we did nothing. In the rear, we blanked it out. Now the stock one looked pretty good, and there's some really good applications for this. It looks pretty cool. It reminds me of a Camry a little bit, the new Camry. The Forza one, probably not. But we went on and blanked this thing out and dragged this thing out as best we can. Give it a good, clean, and strong street look. All right, so let's go over to the tuning. 31.5 in the front and 15 in the rear. Gearing, 231 gears, 408 first, 270 second, 188 third, 155 fourth, 125 fifth, 16, 0.82 seventh, and 0.75 for the 8th gear. Alignment, the rear camber, we went 0. Anti-roll bars, we didn't touch. In the rear, we went 65 in the rear. Springs all the way soft in the front and all the way hard in the rear. Ride height, 4.8 in the front and 5.5 in the rear. Dampening, all the way soft for rebound stiffness in the front and all the way hard in the rear. Bump stiffness, all the way hard in the front and all the way soft in the rear. Aero, we didn't touch. Brake, we didn't touch. And differential, we didn't touch. Here's the share code if you're interested in this tune. Simple and easy launch. And we are off to the races. No spinning. Traction control is great on this car. And we're off to the races with this stock engine. I mean, this thing sounds great. It's very smooth through the gears. And we're putting down a good time. Look at that, 184.41 and a half mile. And here's what the car looks and sounds like from the inside. Pretty cool, pretty Lexus. I love it. This thing is nice. Let's get you a launch, and we're off to the races. Oh man, this thing sounds really good. Very, very smooth through the gears again. Very smooth. We'll put this thing at a quarter of a mile to see what we can get out of it. Simple and easy launch. Off to the races again. Those quad exhausts look and sound great, and we're strolling down the track. Look at what we're putting down. 158.31 in a quarter of a mile. So this is what the car looks like from the outside. Very planted. I mean, this thing is all put together very well. Man, this thing looks really, really good. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And if you have, please like, share, and subscribe. This is Q50 Beast. Peace out.